your host, Night Strike, and I'm having problems speaking tonight. But yeah, we got a couple things to talk about. We've got a couple topics to go over tonight. We've got an interesting panel here tonight as well. I wasn't sure if anybody was going to jump in tonight, but they proved me wrong. So let me introduce my illustrious panel. Gizzard Gary, what's going on, man?
Hey, not a whole lot. Just slid in here at the last minute. Thanks for the invite.
You are on time. You're on time. So, and then we got Boomer. Are we just going to call you Boomer, or are we going to call you something else?
No, Boomer's fine. I appreciate it. That's kind of my nickname. Too many years in the explosive field, so kind of stuck.
You know what? There are worse nicknames.
This is true. I've known a few in my life, so that is true.
I mean, you could have the nickname Jonas.
Yeah, that would not be a good one, I guess.
No,
with recent people, yeah.
It's not. All right. Roll call. Is your mic working?
Can you hear me now?
Yes, we can hear you now.
Oh, thanks for having me, buddy. I just woke up, but I'm in my underwear.
Okay, but just don't put it on camera, okay? All right, good. We got a latecomer. We got Sandhill Shooter. What's going on, John?
Hey, what's up, man? Thanks for the invite. Sorry, I was a little bit late trying to get a word in on Ghost Chat so I could tell everybody good night. But I'm here. Finally, I made it. Thanks for not giving up on me and giving me the link.
Well, eventually I'll give up on you, but not right now.
I appreciate it. I love you, man.
Yeah, whatever. And then we got everyone's favorite outlaw, Squib. What's going on, Squib?
Hey, thanks for the invite.
And if anyone asks why I called him outlaw, he's got the outlaw Josie Wells as his avatar.
Yeah,
I think it's hilarious that Squib's our favorite outlaw, not Ellis.
Ellis is my cousin, so he wouldn't be my favorite in the first place.
Ellis is an outlaw. The whole Josie Wells thing is more about the Clint Eastwood, two walkers, black powder, not really so much being some sort of, like Quantrell's Raiders or something like that. It's more about the black powder and the whole Clint Eastwood Western thing. So.
And then last but never least, we have everyone's favorite YouTuber, the man who took vid.me down himself, single-handedly, Travis P11.
You know, that was never proven in a court of law. I just want to state that right now. I mean, accusations are one thing, but actually proving it, so. But anyway, guys, hey, no, man, I appreciate the invite. Thank you so much. Shameless plugs, check out Caliber Corner, Saturday morning, 8 a.m. Central Time on gunchannels.com. You guys can also find me over on guntube.org. Thanks for the invite, man.
Anytime. So tonight we got a ton of stuff to talk about. Well, not really a ton of stuff. We got a couple good topics to talk about tonight. So first, I want to let everyone in on what I'm doing with GunTube right now. So I'm going to screen share for a little bit. GunTube. I have reworked the interface a little bit. So now when you click on the nav bar here, you have an easy to find register button. Before it was hidden in just the sign-in page, and people didn't like that. So it's right there now. If you can't figure that out, then I can't help you. Okay, it's right there. Also have links to the Hangout, which Hangout works. You can just use it as normal voice server if you need to, but there it is. It works. Looks a little different than Google, but it does work. I will recommend, if you're going to use the GunTube Hangout, you need to use Google Chrome. You need to download the Chrome extension. I'll add it onto the site later to show everybody what they need in order to use it, but that'll be at a later date once I get everything flushed out. But we've also got I've also got links for the Patreon, the store, the PayPal, if you want to help me and support GunTube, because quite honestly, it doesn't run itself. I do have to pay for all this stuff. So any kind of support or any kind of help would be appreciated. It's not required, but it would be appreciated not to have to whore GunTube out to some guy who isn't as pro-gun as we'd like. Because we've seen how well it works out for YouTube, haven't we? So that's all I had to say on GunTube. So also, we do support live streaming, and G-Webs has been watching movies on GunTube and posting them on GunTube and doing his Mystery Science Theater thing. I mean, he's done Red Dawn already. He's done Terminator the other night. So he's been doing his Mystery Science Theater thing. So that's it on GunTube. All right. What else do we got for tonight? All right. First, I'm going to send a link out there on the YouTube side, and I'm going to send the link on the Gun Channel side. And has any of you posted that Hit or Miss is live on GunTube yet? Not GunTube, but Gun Channels? If not, we need to do that right now. We need to do that right now because otherwise, you know. Anyways, let me get that.
Do you have that running on your page over there right now?
Yeah. What?
Okay. That you have it. Do you have the link posted over there for this episode?
Yeah, I've already got it running over there.
You got it run. Okay. Okay.
Copy and pasting everywhere. Jeez. All right. Add a link. Attach. Should work. There we go. There we go. All right. It's up there on Gun Channels. Make sure it's all live. All right. So with that done, let's go to what we were talking about. All right. All right. So here is the link for you guys here in the chat. I'll put it in the side chat for you guys. I'll also put it out on the YouTube side for everybody. YouTube side, add the hashtag at the end. That usually helps. There's that for the YouTube side, and on the Gun Channel side, have that in a separate window. And put it right there. All right. So basically what I linked is I will screen share what I linked. I got an email this morning from the Gun Owners of America, the GOA, about the ATF BumpStock regulation comments. We've got until June 27th to get a comment in. I forgot I hadn't commented on this one. I commented on the last one, but this is I think this is the second round they're doing. So I went and did the sign up and made my opinion heard. So go over to this page, go to the go and copy this what they have right here. Copy this whole area. Okay. Copy, and then click Speak Up Now. It'll bring you to the page. All you got to do is just paste right here. Add anything else you want at the bottom. Put in your name and whatnot, your contact info. I'm not going to do all that, but because I already did this earlier. But go there, let your voice be heard. Because if we let them ban bump stocks outright without even having a say in it, guess what? Then your binary trigger stuff, your double taps. Your match grade triggers, all that's going to go away. It will. I know it sounds like I'm being fear mongering. I'm not. It's look, they banned machine guns, and then a few years later we had the assault weapons ban. Okay? I mean, it's not like I'm not saying that this stuff doesn't come in waves. It does. Lord knows what's going to happen if they actually succeed in banning bump stocks. I know you don't have to have a bump stock. You don't have to own or like a bump stock. But you need to realize that if we let them have one more thing, that's one more thing we're taking away from our children's freedom. That's one more thing we're taking away from your grandchildren's freedom or from, future generations. You're taking more of their freedom away, of which they're never going to get back, because seldom does the United States government, or any government for that matter, ever give any rights back once a right or freedom has been taken away.
Yeah, that'd be kind of like taking away kind of like part of video recording as a freedom of free type of free speech. Or freedom, just part of it. They're still infringing on that.
So, I want everybody to go there, go to that GOA page, sign up, and just say that I oppose bump stocks. Even if you don't have a bump stock, you don't want to own one, you don't want to use one, don't let them take this away from us, because one more thing taken away, and then we're close to being what Scotsman left.
Thanks, you want to talk about making it easy, guys. I just did that. I just did the file now for the second time, and it took me about 30 seconds, and that's it. It's really that easy to do. So just get over there and get the message filed, guys. Just get it done.
So it's just, I need you guys to do this. So go ahead and do this. I will put a link. I'll put a link to this in the description of the page once it becomes a video on YouTube. So it'll be there for you in case you're watching this tomorrow or later on this week if you get around to it. Okay, but guys, I need you guys to go and sign up and make your comments be known. Okay. All right. Moving on. What do we have to talk about? Moving on. Okay. All right. So everybody heard the other day about Brownells going and getting their YouTube channel terminated because apparently they are a retailer. They sell firearms equipment and guns. They sell everything related to firearms and the shooting sports. And their channel was taken away for it. Well, good news is that apparently enough people complained to YouTube. Well, and this is what they're saying, that Brownell's YouTube channel was restored. Now, I don't know if that's the real story or if they just sent their lawyers after YouTube and say, hey, we'll fight this in court if we have to. Now, I don't know the real story, but Brownells did get their channel back. But the problem is I don't see that being viable for everyone. Because let's say my channel, Gizzard Gary's channel, hell, even the Crazy Scotsman or Travis P11's channel, if that goes down, do you think there's going to be enough outcry for you guys to get your channel back on YouTube?
No. I mean, what's kind of funny is – go ahead, guys. Go ahead.
Sorry, I ain't that rich.
No. And the point is we're not that rich. We may have a certain amount of outreach to our viewers. We treasure every viewer and every subscriber we have. But the problem is that's not enough people for YouTube to even bat an eye at. They'll say, well, we don't care. You've been struck. Get over it and deal with it. And that situation happened to somebody else that me and Scotsman used to talk to on his channel, Codaboy32. That happened to him. But instead of fighting it, he just went and created another channel because you really can't fight something like this if you're a small channel. There's just no way to fight it. Now, which is why I created GunTube in the first place, to combat people getting stricken down like this, because I saw a long while ago, I've been saying that ever since that first ad adpocalypse problem that happened. I said that it may be a situation where they're trying to get rid of niche groups so that they could just go and do all their paid content and their live TV stuff and the millions of viewer content creators. But the small guys, they're trying to get rid of us because, well, we're taking up space and they don't want us there. And it's not just happening to one set niche. It's not happening just gun videos. It's happening to a bunch of content creators that don't even do anything with guns. It's other aspects, other areas, but it's happening. So the writing's on the wall, and that's why I created GunTube, to have an alternative where we would not be persecuted for the content we put up there. That's why. So again, I just wanted to mention this because they got their channel back. But again, because they're a big channel, because they're a company, a corporation with pretty badass lawyers, they can get out of this. But you and I cannot, unfortunately, because we don't have the funding of a company that's been in business since 1939.
I'm kind of curious about something here. Do you think that it was an algorithm glitch?
No.
Well, the only reason why I say this is because a few of the other channels that I watched that have posted that they got strikes were telling me that they have not received a notice from YouTube as to why. Like they didn't get the special, they didn't get a response back from YouTube. So I was just kind of curious if there wasn't something, say it was the red dot sites, because a couple of the websites that I watched, they got red flags because of dot site videos that they had going on ARs. And the fact that Brownell sells red dot sites, I'm wondering if red dot sites wasn't the trigger word for the week for the algorithm that flagged all these channels, or if it was an organized effort by some group to file complaints on a particular video to get the channel taken down. I mean, I don't know, because to me it could be a technological glitch or it could be an organized effort to bring down these channels. So I'm kind of curious as to what you guys really think it was. I mean, I don't know. The fact that these people haven't gotten a response back from YouTube kind of makes me wonder if it was not a mistake.
Well, it could be a mistake, but it's happened to way too many channels in a short amount of time that it's pretty too coincidental for it to be a quote-unquote, air quote, mistake.
Yeah.
Because if it happens to more than one channel at the same time, I'm not so sure I believe it. I'm not so sure. And I'm not trying to be one of those conspiracy theorists. I'm just saying that if it happens to more than like 3 or 4 people, then someone's getting targeted. Because, a coincidence may be 1 or 2 people, okay? But when it's more than 2 people, when it's like 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 10 people or more, then that's not a coincidence. I'm sorry. There's just no way in hell.
Yeah.
It's not a mistake either. It's an indication that some people are being targeted, intentionally.
Yeah, and that makes me have to agree with you, because if you look at how many red dot videos are out there on YouTube, if the algorithm was tagging one, you'd think that it would tag all of them.
Exactly.
Yeah. Exactly.
So, and Clover may say I'm reading too much into this. I'm being too paranoid, and I may be. I might just be completely distrustful of YouTube and Google in the first place because of how they've treated everyone. And it may be. It may be just my personal bias. But again, I'm not I take the approach to be distrustful of things until proven otherwise. Because there's been too many times where, not necessarily me, but people have gotten burned in the past by being too trustful of platforms in general, and it's bitten them in the ass. So, anyways, does anybody else want to jump in on this or comment? Please do so.
Well, it's kind of like when they promise you a puppy at Christmas and you don't get that puppy. So they are pretty dirty for that one. You know?
And, they might not want all the negative publicity because they realize that they kind of poked the stick at the wrong bear by taking down Brownells. And then that brought out such a firestorm that they're doing damage control by restoring their channel, Whereas I don't think you got the same kind of outcry from just everyone in general when it was James Yeager's channel. And I mean, he's a guy has a lot of fans, has a lot of subs, but just the sheer number of people that the campaign that went out there to complain to YouTube about Brownells, I think it was just so great that I would love to hear a statement from Brownells as to what YouTube told him as to why it was taken down and why it was restored,
The thing about Yeager is, I'm not going to speak ill of Yeager, but I will say this. He hasn't always made friends.
Yeah.
If you've seen his videos, if you've seen how he is not so much an aggressive person, but he is a little confrontational. So.
Oh, yeah.
And that's just my impression I get from watching his videos, and seeing how he does things.
Yeah.
So there's that on Yeager. So that might be one of the reasons why people didn't cry for him to get his channel back.
Yeah, and I mean the outcry for Brownells was huge. I mean the repost of links on Instagram and everywhere else was ridiculous. I mean it was just insane.
Well, Brownells is it's not the largest, but it's one of the largest firearms retailers, as well as parts retailers on the internet. It's one of the largest. It's not the. I won't say it's the largest. I will probably say that it's the largest, most organized.
It's one of the most well known.
And it's one of the most well known because there's of the online retailers that deal in a lot of firearms parts that you need to fix up or modify your guns. Well, not modify in a bad way, but customize your guns. Okay, there's only two or three websites I think of when I think of that. I think of Brownells first, I think of Midway USA second, and I think of Numrix.
Yep.
Okay, or if you don't want to call them Numrix, they're Gun Parts Corps. So, those are the three that I think of. Now, Granted, there are more, and there are other sites that are just as good as those sites, but those are some of the biggest ones out there. They've been doing it the longest.
Yeah, when it comes to hard to find parts, that's where you go.
Yeah. So,
but to your point, I mean, like with Coda Boy, we've got all kinds of different videos going out from various channels. I did it on my live stream the other night too, where we're trying to promote, hey guys, check this out. He got banned. He's not quite banned yet, but he's got 2 strikes on his channel. We need to figure out what the hell is going on and
they terminated his channel the other night.
No, he took it down.
Oh, did he? Okay.
Yeah,
he made it private.
Yeah, he made it private for right now. And the second channel is there so that in the interim, so that he can still keep making videos and keep getting the word out of everything else that he talks about. But the point is like the small amount of channels that have stepped up and done something to try and help him promote. Hey, why are you guys doing this to him? He didn't do anything wrong, didn't violate any of your policies. Versus Brownells, for example, is just astonishing. All the reposts, all of that stuff is just huge. And then, of course, they got liars that we don't.
Yeah. So there's that. All right. Wow. Time has been flying. All right. So another topic we're going to go over, or we're just going to close the book on this one because, well, other than talking about GunTube and whatnot, we've pretty much ground this one in the floor. So, but it's good to see that Brownells got their YouTube channel back. But again, who's not to say that it won't happen to him again? So if you are a smaller content creator like myself, or hell, if you're smaller than a smaller creator than me, and you just do a couple videos and you've only got like, let's be conservative here. Let's say you got like 10 subscribers. You're not going to be able to combat this, but neither will I. So that's why I created GunTube. So if you don't have a GunTube account, go over to guntube.org, sign up for an account, upload a couple videos. Don't upload your entire archive of YouTube. I can't handle like thousands of Travis P11 videos. But if you want to upload between 1 and 10 videos, go ahead.
Look, man, I haven't hit 1,000 videos yet. I'm only at 600 something. Okay.
I'm giving you guys a set number just because I trust you guys. Don't let me down. All right. So our next topic. I know some of you out there on the YouTube side have been talking about this because apparently you say that what was it? It's not the GOA. It's the Second Amendment Foundation or whatnot. Was the perpetrator for this? Making sure there's no more. Okay, but a judge issued a restraining order blocking the Deerfield, Illinois assault weapons ban. The Village of Deerfield, Illinois assault weapons ban that would have required residents to turn in or remove their scary black rifles from the town was set to take effect tomorrow. But John Bosch reports that after hearing arguments and a suit brought by Guns Save Life and the NRA today, I don't know if this is the NRA, but a Lake County Circuit Court judge has issued a temporary restraining order blocking enforcement of the law until the suit can be decided. The Deerfield law is in direct conflict with Illinois' preemption law that prohibits cities from enacting gun control measures that are more restrictive than the state law. Deerfield flipped a metaphorical middle finger at the legal restriction, daring someone to challenge them. So far, Guns Saves Lives and the NRA have been up to the task. More when the judge's opinion becomes available. So we're waiting to see whether the judge will give an opinion or not. Granted, I heard someone saying out there in the chat, or I saw that it was the Second Amendment Foundation or something that was in this too. I don't know. But either way, it's nice to see that, at least somebody in Illinois has a clear head on their shoulders. Because for a while I was here left and right. Breaking news. Deerfield bans all guns. Wow. What do you guys think?
Yeah,
go ahead.
Sorry, Travis.
No, it's all good, man. Yeah.
I was just going to say, those are the little battles that we need to see being won. I mean, big scale things are great, but those little things like that where people are pushing back and governments are pushing back and judges especially are making precedents is really what we like to see. I like to see. I was a criminal justice major, and anything like that we can see coming through the court system and judges passing and reversing things like that is phenomenal. It really is. It's a great move.
Yeah, I'm glad that somebody is actually thinking and not just going and making laws arbitrarily, or letting arbitrary laws go through.
Right. They're taking something that was an emotional knee-jerk reaction to something and saying, no, that was not right. We shouldn't have done that. And it was unconstitutional. And that was just uncalled for, and setting it back to what it should have been as a constitutional right, and letting these people do what they're supposed to, and constitutional right to bear arms.
Yeah. Well, technically they weren't just breaking one constitutional right. Technically they were breaking two constitutional rights. Because they're breaking, first off, they're breaking the Second Amendment, the right of people to keep and bear arms. And there's their argument, well, that doesn't mean scary black rifles. Like, okay, yeah, you got somewhat of an argument there. I'm not gonna spend all my time arguing with you on that. But they're also breaking the Fourth Amendment.
Mm-hmm.
You know what part I'm talking about?
Yeah. Fourth Amendment as far as
taking away someone's property,
Yeah.
property, and the property
Yeah,
isn't
due
decided
process.
as just land. They're taking away property without just compensation.
Yeah. And there's no due process for that either.
No.
You know, it's just a blanket, okay, you can't have that anymore and you're done, you know, without any kind of due process behind it.
If there's no due process, that's also a violation of the Fifth Amendment.
Yep. So there's 3 technically. It's a blanket removal of a constitutional right for the Second Amendment, and a 4th for removal of property, and a 5th for no due process.
So, I mean, if someone had to argue this in court, they would probably bring these 3, you know, those three constitutional amendments up as precedent, and a judge would probably think about it's like, yeah, they're doing that. They shouldn't be doing that.
I mean, you would hope. I mean, sorry about that. Go ahead.
No, go, please.
There's a sane judge, and I mean that you've seen, just as I have, these liberal judges sit on the benches and they'll argue till they're blind the opposite direction. But a sane, law-abiding, you know, constitutional sworn judge can't argue those points because it's a constitutional amendment. You can't get around those things, but yet we see it, you know, and you just hope to have the right judge like this guy.
Right.
There are people that get appointed as judges for different things, all from small claims court and family law all the way up to the Supreme Court. That think because I apologize for full clips. This happens every time I go live. These guys are never back here, and then as soon as I go live, they want to hide back here from their boss, whatever. Anyhow, so I'm on my break, so I can be here, whatever. Anyhow, so you get these guys that are appointed as judges, and it goes to their head. They think they are the law. They don't care about the Constitution. They don't care about the fact that there are people that write the laws. The judge is just there to interpret, that sort of thing. They don't
follow the letter.
It goes to their head. It goes to their head. They're feeding their ego. And I'm the one sitting here in this robe. I'm the one sitting up here looking down on you. I'm the one calling the shots. I don't care what the law says. I don't care what my authority is. I'm doing what I want. And if you don't like it, then you're going to have to fight me. And it's not going to cost me a penny because I have the taxpayers' money paying for everything. If you want to fight me, I'll have the sheriff come arrest you because I can file warrants, stuff like that. And unfortunately, we're at their mercy at different levels. You could go to traffic court with all the evidence in the world to prove that you were not speeding. And the cop may not even show up, and the magistrate can go, I don't want to hear it, go pay your fine. What are you going to do? Now that might sound petty, but the same thing happens at the higher level courts when they're interpreting whether or not something is constitutional or not. They don't want to hear it. Just do what I say. And unfortunately, it's unfair. Still, our government, our way of life, our country is the greatest one on the earth. And we need to do what we can to preserve that. And we need to keep that in mind that although we have our own internal issues here and we're always on the defensive, it seems like this is still the greatest place to live on the earth. Everybody wants to live here. And we do enjoy a level of freedom and safety that other people could only dream of.
That's true. But there are ways to remove judges, but it's extremely hard. So there is a way to do that, but granted, it's not going to help your court case one way or another. So that's just it. All right, Travis, do you want to jump in on this?
You know, it's like you guys said, it is good that this stuff is finally coming up. What really bothers me is just, you know, this was what, the day before the ban was supposed to kick in?
It was supposed to kick in tomorrow.
Tomorrow? I mean, I would hate to be one of those people that decided to go and sell my guns. You know, and I'm sure there were a lot of people that didn't, and I'm sure these things are not very effective, but it's like, wow, I mean, and then to think there's a temporary stay on it that could last or could get overturned, you know? It's just, I don't know if I'd want to live in a community where you would have such wishy-washy policies on your Second Amendment rights. I would probably have to move. I would just say that right now. And I mean, I feel sorry for the people who live in this community because they can't, you know, they're there.
My thing is whether it's on a city level or it goes all the way to a state level.
Yeah.
If the government is not being put in check by the citizens, or a majority of the voting citizens, not the lazy ones who don't show up to vote these people into power or vote for these laws that take away our rights, the majority of the people there are saying, we don't want you here. So maybe it is better if you move. I mean, nobody should be forced out of their home, and staying and fighting is the American way, and there is honor in that. But if you're living somewhere where it's just getting worse and worse and worse and worse and worse, and nobody is doing anything about it, you're trying, but it's like spitting into the wind. What are your neighbors trying to tell you? They're trying to say, we don't want your kind here. So maybe you need to go somewhere where you're accepted, where it's still free. And that's unfortunate. And it's not as easy to just sell your house and up and move. But you can start the ball rolling. You can make a plan and you can start the ball rolling. I've been saying for a while, let's reinforce the states that are still free, because most of the states still are. Let's reinforce those before they go the way of the states that there's probably no turning back for. And I know that might sound defeatist to some, but I'd rather shore up 2/3 or 3/4 of this country by pulling the pro-2A people out of the states where their vote will never count, and having them keep the free states free. Then they're going to fight and fight and fight, and they're never going to get anywhere. And eventually, that sort of sickness is going to spread to the free states.
Yeah, but if we don't stay and fight, what's going to happen is that, all the gun owners are going to retreat into the gun-friendly states, and pretty soon they'll have us all segregated into 5 or 6 states.
And then we'll have a civil war.
Yeah.
No. Okay, if you've got 50 states and 40 of them are still pro-2A, and you can hold on to those 40, and the other 10, there's no saving. What's wrong? I'm not talking about getting us down to 5 or 6 states. No. I'm talking about leaving it 5 or 6 states left that will never change, or 10 or 12 states that'll never change.
The problem with that is now you have all these people in power that have got what they want. They've got what they want. Now they're going to try and spread that shit across the country. And they're already trying to do it as it is, but now they're getting their way even more, because those people that were staying and fighting, they're now upping and leaving.
But the people that are staying and fighting, are never going to win where they're at. But if they move somewhere where their vote counts, and they can keep us in the majority in 2/3 or 75% of the country, then we're going to hold 2/3 or 75% of the country, and we're going to lose 1/3 or 25%, as opposed to losing 50% of the country or more, because everybody stays put.
But the problem there is, again, that crap's just going to trickle down through the rest of the government, through the rest of the states eventually. We've seen it
not if you confine it to the states where there's no hope.
No, but we've seen it time and time again.
The people who are in the states where there's no hope vote pro-2A, and their voice is never going to be heard. But if their numbers were in the states where people are afraid that the anti-2A people are gaining a foothold, they'd be the reinforcements that are needed to hold those states.
Government is corrupt. It doesn't matter. The government's corrupt, and there's enough of them out there that have a voice that are going to keep on pushing and doing the crap they do. And the minute that we step away from that state and say, you know what, screw it, I'm going to go over here to this pro-gun state, that's fine. If that's what you want to do, fine. But the problem is again, that person has now won their battle. Guess what? Now they're coming for another state. and they're going to keep on doing that and doing that, and that's what they've done already. But the problem is if we start moving from one of these states, we're going to get weaker in that area, and we need to stay strong. We need to stick together.
But those areas aren't strong at all, and they never ever will be again. That's why I'm saying you keep what is strong by moving your assets from a place where they're not ever going to do anything to a place where they can
move your
do something.
assets, they're winning. And they're, again, my point is,
but they already did win. They already won in those states. Those states are never going to go back.
Not
You
if
see what I'm
everybody
saying?
leaves, they won't.
The people that are staying aren't doing anything, and they never will be able to do anything. Their voices are not going to be heard. They're not going to be able to reverse those states.
Walking away is not the answer.
Okay.
All right.
You know, but then what do we do for a state like California if walking away is not the answer? I mean, well, can you salvage these places? I don't want to give up the dream of keeping our two-way rights, but some of these places, man, I don't know how you'd ever change them. I'm not admitting defeat, but I see something like California, and I just feel like it's a lost cause, and I feel sorry for the people who live there. And maybe California is just an exception to the rule, you know. I don't know.
There's a reason that California's on one side of America and New York's on the other.
I know.
So, all right, there we go. There. Does anybody else have a topic to bring up or talk about? We still got time.
I don't know if anything's on. Anything good on Truth About Guns?
I'm looking. I'm not seeing anything. I saw all the good stuff, and we already talked about all the good stuff. But someone mentioned something about something Kamala Harris did, and I'm like, do we really want to talk about somebody from California?
Well, I'm curious, what did they do? Because Mad Sexy was asking, and I don't know. I've been at work all day, so I have no clue.
The only thing I see that she did is she introduced a bill that would waive fees for immigration documents after disasters. But since that's coming out of a state which has actively known sanctuary cities, what's that mean? I mean, they want illegals there in the first place, so go for it. I mean, it's not like it's going to help one damn bit of difference.
I'm already pissed off enough for the day. I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
Yeah. You came here legally, so...
Exactly. That's why I'm going to keep my mouth shut.
No. Of anybody here, you should be the one talking right now, not me.
Like I said, I'm already pissed enough for the day. I've dealt with enough bullshit.
This is the way you handle that. I got some friends that used to be British citizens. They got their American citizenship. They're trying to get their kids over here, their adult kids, to come over here to live because everybody wants to live here. Their kids keep getting put to the back of the line no matter how much money they pay, no matter how much paperwork they do, no matter how many different ways they research the laws to try to find some way to get their kids to the front of the line. I'm talking like 6, 7, 8 years of trying to get their kids over here from England. The reason they keep getting moved to the back of the line is because of all the illegals that they keep giving amnesty to. So what I told my formerly British friends was, you voted for the a-hole that's doing this to your kids. Do you see why I said don't vote for him? But you didn't want to listen to me, and now look what happened. That's how you deal with that.
What'd he say?
Well, part of the problem there also is every time you file a new piece of paperwork, you get pushed to the back of the line.
Oh yeah, all the time.
Every time. And the problem is, so I'm gonna try and not get pissed off here. But the problem is when you file paperwork. So say like next year I got to refile some paperwork. When I file paperwork, it's not gonna go to the state I live in. It goes across the freaking country. So I'm in Ohio. I got to send my paperwork to California. So it never goes to the same state you're in. And then they make you drive 2 to 3 hours away to the closest, what they say is the closest place for you to go and do your little interview and all that crap. And it's just a ridiculously long process. Now, am I glad I did it the right way? Of course I'm glad I did it the right way. But I get where Squib's going with that. And it is. You get pushed in the back of the line every time. And then you have all these freaking illegals that are coming in, and you got all these states, you got all these states that are giving them the fucking free ride. And I'm sorry, but when I first came here, dude, I busted my butt for 9 months, putting up fences, installing doors, doing whatever the hell I had to make money to pay my fees to live here. Do it the right fucking way. Don't come here illegally.
You'd almost be better off moving from the UK or Europe to a Central American country, getting citizenship there, illegally crossing the border and hoping for amnesty, and you get U.S. citizenship faster. Isn't that awful?
It is awful. It's fucking horrendous. That's not how it should be.
And here you are, paying your money, trying to be a contributing member of society, biding your time, following the laws, doing things by the book, waiting your turn in line. And that's, yeah, it's unfortunate.
Yep. And every time something of this illegal shit comes up, it just fires me off because, again, I did it the right fucking way. And I'm not some big fucking shot or anything like that. I'm just an average fucking Joe. I don't make a ton of money, but I did it the right fucking way. Don't be an illegal piece of shit. Don't fucking mooch off of everyone else that's here on the panel and everyone else in the country that's doing it the right way and everyone else that goes out and makes a living and you're mooching off fucking Social Security and all the other bullshit. Don't fucking do that.
Yeah, I would assume, Scotsman, you can answer this for me. Is it? I know it's a big slap in the face to all Americans, but it's got to be an even bigger slap in the face to an immigrant who comes here legally to people who do that. I mean, it's, you know,
it's fucking ridiculous, man. I mean, when I first came to the country, this was back in 2005. It took a while to get all this stuff going. Like I said, the first 9 months, I was working every day, doing odd jobs to make money to pay the paperwork fees. And, you know, when you start doing stuff like that, and it takes you back to when I was a kid, because when I was a kid, my feet grew fast. I was a fast growing kid. And by the time I had 12 years old, my mother said, you know what? I'm not buying you another damn pair of shoes. Go get a fucking job and make money to go get your own damn shoes. And it's kind of the same thing. I've always had that mentality of, you know what? Man up, do the right thing. Go do your work. Go do what you got to do. Step up to the plate. Don't be a freaking pussy. Don't mooch off of someone else. And my eldest fucking brother, I don't even call him my brother anymore, is a piece of shit. He's back home. He still mooches off the government. He still mooches off my fucking mother. So I kind of get it on when the immigrant shit that really pisses me off because they come in and they get handed free shit left, right, and center. They get like when Obama got in office, for example, and driver's license. It took me almost 12 months to get my driver's license because I had to wait on my Social Security number and all my other paperwork to go through before I could get my driver's license. These fuckers can walk across the border. Oh, here's a driver's license. I mean,
well, Scotsman, it's the same way that the public treats responsible gun owners as criminals. The criminals steal their guns. The criminals disobey every law and don't care about the consequences. The criminals have the intent or have already committed crimes with their firearms. We're none of that, but we get treated the same way. It gives you the same feeling. When you're doing things the right way, whether you agree with the system or not, you're biting your tongue, and you're trying to be the good person, the good citizen, and you get kicked in the butt for it, right?
You get punished for something you didn't even fucking do.
Yep.
Or you did the right thing and you still get punished.
Yeah.
But the person who doesn't gets away with it.
Man, it's like the guy in California that went to register his guns and ended up with how many felony charges?
Well,
The
they
farmer?
ended up because he registered it. They found out that he broke a bunch of other laws,
Right, but
Yeah, when
and he was trying to do the right thing, and ended up, what would that be? Self-incriminating.
right, yeah, but still, I
Right.
mean,
So
there's not supposed to be a registry. I mean, it never should have got to that point. You know, I mean,
He took pictures of his guns, and he had things attached to these guns that he should not have had attached to his guns.
right.
Yeah.
So he had broke a few federal laws in addition to the state laws.
right.
I could see them going, okay, you're late in registering this, which is a state law, so we're gonna overlook that because you're trying to do the right thing. But dude, you got these suppressors, and there's no record of them. And then the BATFE rolls in there at that point. So
Right. There was
but
another.
yeah,
article-
I know what you're saying. You're trying to
Yeah.
do the right thing, and you get backstabbed for it.
There was another article about somebody in, I think it was towards the East Coast, and he went into supposed to go to the local police station and to register his firearms, and he went in there and to ask the police on how to do that, and the trooper, wherever he was, told him, well, why would you want to do that? He was like, well, because it's the law. And the guy's like, again, why would you want to register your guns? Because it's the law. And the guy said again, why would you want to do that? And he goes, finally I got the hint, and I was like, okay, I'm leaving now. And he walked out the door. He's like, why would you really want to register your guns with us? I know it's the law, but why would you really want to do that?
All right. Let's see. Somebody mentioned something earlier out in the chat that I think we do need to address. I hadn't realized that this was happening, and I just went and looked it up. It is true. It happened the other day. I got bad news, guys. I'm going to screen share this. Yeah. All right.
Oh, yeah.
Apparently, Freedom's Ammunition and parent company are filing for Chapter 11 bankruptcy.
They're still active. I just checked it earlier. Their website is still up.
Okay, I'm going to explain something to you guys, which some people don't understand how bankruptcy works, because there's a couple different filings for bankruptcy.
They can still
Oh, yeah.
sell everything that they have in inventory, and it just goes towards paying off the bill of whatever they have.
Yeah. Chapter 11 is reorganization and consolidating of their debts and paying, talking to their creditors and seeing about making arrangements to pay, payment plans, that kind of thing. That's what Chapter 11 is, okay? It basically forces, if they're a little over their head, it doesn't really force, but it ensures that they don't go out of business entirely, and that they can reorganize and continue on. And continue to pay off their debtors or their creditors or whatever. And that's what Chapter 11 is. So it's not as bad as it sounds, but I know it sounds bad. If you're talking about complete dissolution, that's Chapter 13. Okay? And for an individual, if you were an individual and you file for bankruptcy, you're filing Chapter 7. Okay? That's how bankruptcy works in our country.
Remington just went through this, didn't they? Chapter 11 and came out of it. Okay.
Yeah. So, I would say
the thing is, it might be a good thing for them to get a new parent company, because after reading what happened, it sounds like their management company, parent company, was awful, or some person in control of the finances did not do what they were supposed to do, and that's pretty much what led to where it is right now.
So,
yeah, and basically what will happen is they'll sell everything they have. They'll either put it on sale or whatever. Which I got an email earlier saying they had some blowout sale or whatever, but
literally, yeah.
Gee, I wonder why.
which kind of cracks me up now that I'm seeing this, and I might go check it out to see if it's really good or not. But that's basically what happens is they'll sell everything off, and then in the interim of while they're doing that, they'll be looking for someone to come in and take over. The courts will throw it up for sale. And if someone comes in, they'll take pretty much all the inventory. And depending on how they do it, they can do it two ways. They can do it where they can just buy the company outright, keep the name, keep everything, and just take over and put the money into it. Or they can just buy the actual inventory, the warehouse, and all of that stuff and call it good and do whatever they want with it.
Right. So I'll throw a link out there for you guys out there on the YouTube side and the gun channel side so you can read this. I don't want to read this because they're just going over the process and whatnot. So there's really no point. We already mentioned how it works and what's going on with them. I mean, I could go ahead and read all of it if you actually are absolutely that interested in it. I'm not, because all it is just going to say that they're just going and reorganizing.
The only thing you should be interested in is they got a sale. Go check it out and see if there's any good deals.
That's really it. Go to Freedom's Munitions, check to see if they have any really good deals, and if they do, get what you need. Tell your friends, link them to the deals, and then go about your business. But anyways, there's that. I don't really have anything else to say, so why don't we go ahead and start wrapping it up and let everybody make their plugs and whatnot, and get out of here tonight. So, Gary, thank you for showing up. Thank you for being here and taking part of the conversation. You got anything you want to plug?
Other than my website, gizzardgary.com, and my YouTube channel, Gizzard Gary, I say, I'll reiterate what you said about checking out guntube.org, join gun channels, and thank you for the invite.
You're welcome. All right, we got Boomer. Boomer, thanks for showing up. I wasn't sure whether you or Sarge would be able to make it, but I gave you links anyways, just in case.
No, I really appreciate it. Yeah, I'm not sure what Sarge's schedule is. He's on a crazy on-off schedule. The department works, so I'm not sure what he's on right now. But yeah, I appreciate it. I've got my channel up and running on YouTube. It's Knowledge is Ammo on YouTube and Instagram and Twitter, and I just got my GunTube account set up. So I've got that first video put up there. So check those out. Again, I appreciate you having me on.
All right, I appreciate you showing up. All right, roll call.
Hello. Thank you for having me again, Night Strike. Scotsman, you're a stand-up man. I don't care what anybody says. And go check out everybody's channel. Subscribe to them. Buy their products on wherever they are at. Go to guntube.org. And again, thank you for having me. And then go check out my crappy shit that I got over on my channel. And then, subscribe to me too. And thank you.
Make sure you check out whenever Roll Call decides to do it. Usually it's probably on a Sunday late at night. But check out Rants and Raves.
Yeah, Rants and Raves. Yeah, I got that too. That's going to be up in the air because I think I got to work this Sunday. So
we can reschedule it if we have to.
Well, I wish that place would file Chapter 11.
No, you wish they'd file Chapter 13.
I just wish they would go away so I can get unemployment.
There you go.
There you go. Think positive.
You ain't going to be able to buy a whole lot of guns in unemployment, dude.
That's because I'm going to come work for you, Scotsman.
I'd let you work for me, dude.
You always need someone to mop the floors.
That's
Everybody has floors to mop, toilets to clean, and sandwiches to pick up.
There you go. I'm glad you know your job already.
I've done that kind of work myself, so it doesn't matter, Just saying. Anyways, Sandhill Shooter, you didn't say a lot, but you were here.
I was too busy listening this time. You guys all said excellent stuff, so wasn't a whole lot of extra 2 cents of mine to throw in there. But thanks for sending me the link and letting me come back on the show after a hiatus. Go check me out on YouTube, Sandhill Shooter, Facebook and Instagram, same name. Watch the Grumpy Old Man series of videos. Some of those aren't terrible.
Yeah, good, good. Also, check him out on GunTube. He's also on GunTube.
He should probably get some content up there pretty quick, huh?
Well, no better time than the present. Just saying. All right, Squib. Thanks for showing up.
Thanks for inviting me. Let me run my mouth. I've been working on videos. Some of them I need to shoot more footage, do more editing. Some other ones, maybe they're ready to go. I don't know. Nothing spectacular, nothing even worth wasting your time over. But I'm always weaseling in on shows like this. Tomorrow I'll try to weasel into Rick's show at 7 o'clock. So just see me around.
Yep. All right. Scotsman, thanks for showing up. I wasn't sure if you were going to show up tonight, but you proved me wrong.
Sorry, I was out at work. I just got back. I appreciate the link. It was a little later than usual. I'm normally home, but got stuck. But all I got is please check out hashtag help a brother up. And also, if you guys didn't see my live stream on Sunday, hashtag get to 500. Roll call 219 is in there. And hashtag get to 1,000. And the host himself, Mr. Nightstrike, is in here. And it's about supporting all these other channels. And there was a long list of channels in that chat that we need to support and help get to 500 and help get to 1,000 subs. So if you're not sub to those channels, check it out and please sub to them and support them. The only way that we're going to be successful in what we do is if we all stick together.
That's right. Thank you. All right. Travis.
Man, I don't know. This has been a great show tonight. Appreciate the invite, man. A lot
Plug it out.
Just, hey, man, check out the channel, Travis P11 on YouTube. I got a lot of content coming to you, pretty much new video about every 3 days. And make sure you follow Caliber Corner over on gunchannels.com. As well as everybody here on the panel that's got a channel, make sure you sub to them, check out their content. Lots of good stuff, man.
Absolutely, absolutely.
Oh, yeah.
So, all right, guys. I think that's it for tonight. We will see you later. I may or may not do a Friday Night Strike this week. It just depends on whether or not we get done in time with gaming with Matt. If we do decide to game with Matt this week, that's still up in the air too. So I'll keep you guys posted. So with that, we will see you guys on the next one. So thank you all for listening. This was Hit or Miss.
Bye, Alicia.
Adios, Alicia.
Shall not be infringed.